Hi, my dear Astro family. So here is an unusual video. I'm going to be breaking down the lunar eclipse for all 12 signs. There are two reasons why I've decided to do that. I wanted to show you a example, how I usually break down on my special community group, all the planetary energies for you. So if you are interested in that, you might want to be signing up. You just need to push the join button on YouTube. You're going to have to pay a little bit of a fee, and then you will get additional 10 videos a month. And typically this is about lunation reports as well as the breakdown of some of the major aspects of the week and the month for all 12 signs. And even you can choose some webinars as well. You might be receiving one or two webinars a month, depending on what level you are on. And I've got a special course coming up, which is going to be about the 12th house. 12th house is very much feared among the astrology community. So I decided to put together a material on it. And in this course, we're going to be looking at all the cusp on the 12th house. So if you have got Sagittarius on the cusp, I'm going to break that down for you. If you have got Capricorn on the 12th house cusp, I'm going to teach you how that plays out. We're going to be looking at the ruler of your 12th house, planets in the 12th house as well, and also just what's the real meaning of the 12th house, so you can become an expert of this. And for the members, to show my gratitude, I will be doing a special webinar free of charge for all my Patreons in regards to what to expect when a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse is actually a lunar eclipse, when a lunar eclipse is actually hitting a personal planet in your chart. So this is going to be approximately about 1.5 hours. I will be posting that on the special community tab, and then it's going to be available on my website as well. So there is a lot of things going on my astrology community. I urge you to check them out. But without any further ado, let's get started. One other thing I would recommend is when you are looking at your rising sign, you might want to be listening to the opposite sign as well. So if you have got a Taurus rising sign, you might want to be listening to Scorpio description as well, because this is a full moon lunation. And therefore, two houses need to be integrated. And the best description you're going to get is just by listening to both ends. So let's get started. What happens if you have got an Aries rising sign? So dear Aries, if you want to get the full picture, I recommend listening to your opposite sign as well, and that's going to be Libra. Please do not forget to listen to the general forecast in a separate video. And if you want to sign up for my YouTube family, then please join the special community to gain access to additional 10 videos a month about astro energies. And you might even receive some webinars free of charge as well. So this lunation is going to be happening in your 1st and 7th house. So this is the axis about me versus others. How do you introduce yourself to others needs to be rechecked. Something that has been an issue in the relationship will be highlighted for you by having the moon in the 7th house. Maybe you feel you always have to be negotiating about your own needs, and then people do not want to actually give you what you need. And then the 1st house, Sun, and that planetary energy, what we've got in the 1st house, I mean, it's Chiron and North Node and Mercury and the Sun as well. You want to actually a little bit more domineering, but then the moon is telling you that we still need to be looking at what other people want from us. So this is about finding a harmony between relationships and yourself. Here, it's not just about romantic relationships, by the way. This is something to do with any type of relationship, maybe a business partnership or my opponents and enemies, but even it could represent friends and family members as well. Maybe this is a time when you need to be somehow soothing out an ongoing issue with others, kind of like finding a little bit of a peace. Or if you allowed someone to just knock you around or mock you around, then it's time to stand up for yourself. It is time to stand up and maybe look into the mirror where things have gone wrong. It's not about blaming, it's about realization that, you know what, we both made mistakes and then we can actually make up somehow. But do you feel that you are a priority in your relationship? Do you want to carry on or do you want to move on? You might not have wanted to recognize your gut feelings and it is revealed to you now. Maybe the fact that somehow someone lied to you, cheated on you, betrayed you, or misled you. The reason why, because you have got the dispositors, which are Mars and Venus, placed in the 12th house in the sign of Pisces. So some of the secrets are going to be revealed to you around relationship. And maybe you realize that someone you have been mingling with for a very long time somehow is an enemy for you. The first house sun definitely wants you to get stronger and fight back. But the moon might be telling us that we need to be a bit of a people pleaser, and then I just need to swallow and then be patient. So none of them are a real solution. We're going to have to somehow find harmony there. You might start thinking about where your life is heading at the moment. And it could represent some type of sudden shifts as well, not just in the relationship department, but just how you look at the world overall. Maybe you are in the client industry and then you want to be attracting more clients, or you're going to realize that some of your clients are leaving. And then again, it is telling you to look into the mirror and why those clients are actually leaving you, or how you can attract more clients. Maybe it's about changing your attitude or your style to be more applicable to others as well. Maybe you're going to have to create a bit better boundaries with your clients. So for example, you've got an hour service and then it ends up being 2 hours. Is that really good for you? Because eventually with the 12th house Mars and Venus, people might take advantage of you and then you get tired of that. Or this is also telling you to be accountable for your own actions as well. Maybe this is telling you to look at the healthiness and the unhealthiness of the relationships what you've got. Maybe it's about holding yourself accountable as well as holding others accountable for their own action as well. Or maybe we just need to say that we are in it together. So why do I feel that I have to be pushing something and then you don't care about it? Let's get together because we can get stronger. So this lunation might be highlighting something to you in regards to not being on the same page, on the same wavelength with someone. Maybe we don't have the same goals, and then you are reminded that we should somehow aligning those goals, or we feel that the relationship is going to fall apart. Of course, the sun and the strong first house wants to work on the self, and the seventh house might be highlighting the need, for example, to find a therapist for it, because they can reveal something about you that you did not consider so far. Maybe that sun in the first house wants to be the center of the universe, but then the moon in the seventh sign is telling us that we need to be tapped into other people's needs as well. But also it could represent that your business partnerships are going to get a little bit tested. You know, I mean, you can make business with a best friend or people you work with. It doesn't necessarily matter who they are. But again, we don't see eye to eye. Maybe you feel that you're going to have to stand up for your rights, somehow trying to bring justice with that seventh house moon, or you're just going to leave it and walk away from it and then maybe regretting later on that, you know what, I could have done something about it, but maybe I didn't have the courage. Now, because both dispositors of this lunation placed in the 12th house, so this is a little bit about editing your fears, letting go of fears, being unapologetically true to yourself. Do you feel that someone is cheating on you or try to cheat you out of something? It is very much about who is sucking the life out of you. Because often with the 12th house energies, we want to be staying in the background. We are scared to see the world. And this lunation is telling you that you're going to have to see the world from different perspectives as well. You might have run into challenges already because Venus met Saturn not long ago. But now Jupiter is actually going to be making a sextile, or are already making a sextile to Venus, which can offer opportunity to further grow, but also can magnify problems in the relationship department as well, though. And that's important to remember. Jupiter is called as the planet of, benefits. But the question is that, are you really benefiting from just attending other people's needs, or are you going to be benefiting just attending other people's needs and your needs separately? Somehow we're going to have to be on the same page. Also, it's very possible that somehow you are looking for a little bit more attention now, and the moon is reminding you that others also might have the same needs as well. Of course, the seventh house is connected to important one-to-one relationships or marriage partners or just the significant others. So the main theme for you is to strike a balance between your own needs and those who matter in your life. And often this comes with compromise and having to negotiate. And somehow your relationship partnerships are stress tested now. But also it can give you the ability to connect to someone special in your life. Okay, what happens if this is going to be for Taurus rising sign? So first of all, dear Taurus, what I recommend is that you might want to be, if you want to get the full picture, I recommend listening to your opposite sign as well, which is going to be Scorpio, because this is a full moon lunation. And please do not forget to listen to the general forecast, which I made in a separate video. That's how you're going to get the full picture. And if you want to sign up for my YouTube family, then please join the special community to gain access to additional 10 videos a month. And obviously, you can look at the previous ones as well. So this is going to be happening in your 12th and 6th house axis. So who are your guides? Are those guides having the best interest for you? Are you relying too much on the universe and you lost a little bit of a touch with practicality? How is your well-being? Do you feel down? Do you think that it's time to do a checkup, for example? It is telling you to somehow get in tune with your own body. It's not enough just to look after ourselves from a mental point of view, but the physical body needs caring as well. So this is the reminder to boost your immune system, to boost your body as well, to give the body a little bit more strength also. And maybe this is telling you to listen to your doctor. Maybe it's about taking some vitamins or supplements, if you feel a little bit tired, because often with the 12th house energy, we do not have energy. And we can actually medicate that with the 6th house, which this case would be talking to you about just visiting a doctor, for example. But also this could be about work versus rest. So do you schedule down times, or are you a little bit stubborn about it? So this time around, I think the major focus is to try to heal your relationship with your body. Maybe you want to try some alternative healing. Maybe you want to go for a yoga. That's brilliant for Libra, or just stretching something. Of course, Aries would like to run the marathon. And Libra says, you know what, we just need to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more prepared. We can hesitate whether we want to do that or not, because it might sound too difficult. But also it could represent just replacing bad habits with something better. So the 12th house is our bad habits. 6 and 12th house is about smoking and drinking and eating chocolates or whatever habits you've got. So those need to be replaced. This is giving you an opportunity to start fresh, to put a little bit of an oil into the engine so it can go faster. Now, the dispositors are in the 11th house. So the dispositors are Venus and Mars. So it could represent that, unfortunately, a friend of yours is kind of like a secret enemy. Or it could represent that the friendship is about to be ending and you are going to be gaining new friends instead. But also, it might represent that your long-term goals are not necessarily clear yet, and we need to get clear about them. Also, what type of connections you make to others, because the 11th house is hanging out with the right people who are going to be our support system. So, are these people actually dragging you down or motivating you? Because if they are dragging you out, then with that Aries, it's time to cut them out. Maybe it's about you holding a piece of information that actually helps your enemies, or do they have certain type of information that you need? Also, it could represent, for example, that your pets are going to be transitioning, of course, or you want to have a pet, or you want to have a new job. Maybe your long-term goals are somehow changing and you feel frustrated at the workplace you are at. So you start being on the lookout. 11th house represents internet. So I go online and then I start searching for a new job. Challenges at job, and very possible because the eclipses are usually come with a bit of a drama as well. You might feel that you are a little bit burnt out. Also, let's just start with an exercise program, for example, with a friend of yours, or all of a sudden, some of the habits that your friends are having, you find disgusting, or they find it disgusting, and then you decide, or they are kind of forcing you or prompting you, let's say, to quit smoking. And or you might just get somehow fed up of what type of treatments you get from your, let's say, bosses or co-workers. Then the Aries want you to stand up. It wants you to find that courage to kind of snap back at them. Also, I mean, of course, look out whether any personal planet is going to get, eclipsed in your chart. Typically, that would indicate that it's a little bit more dramatic somehow. And also watch out how much emotional approach you've got to this situation, because you might be too emotional to see things clearly. It could also indicate that the smallest thing can annoy you this time around. You might feel that people are just not greeting you, for example, when you enter the building, or they are not as kind. So the co-workers can bring, a little bit of a frustration, and then you might start looking at what type of relationship I'm having with them. Brilliant. So what happens if it's taking place for Gemini rising sign? So dear Gemini rising, this is going to be happening in your 11th and 5th house. First of all, if you want to get the full picture, I really recommend to listen to the general video I made about it in a separate video format. And then and also you might want to be listening to Sagittarius as well to get the full picture. And if you want to sign up for my YouTube family to get these type of videos, at least 10 a month, then just join my special community tab. And then you can even get some webinars. So this is going to be taking place on the 11th and the 5th house cusp. So this is about your long-term goals versus your short-term goals. How aligned are you with your goals at the moment? Are you shying away from being in the limelight? How are you doing with self-employment or self-empowerment? Do you have got a tendency to rely on others way too much, or do you live up to your own standards? Where do you want to be in 18-month time? Remember that the 5th house is connected to short-term goals, so it's a little bit just trying to put the fire out. And the 11th house is connected to long-term goals. And the long-term goals must be very smart, right? Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So this might be asking you to upgrade, for example, your business, because the dispositors are placed in the 10th house, Venus and Mars. Maybe you want to be doing a little bit of an online marketing, but also who do you want to spend time with? Do you want to spend time with your closest friends, or just you want to be spending time on the internet, for example? Are these people supporting you, supporting of your creativity, supporting you who you are or not? It could give you new opportunities to meet a new support system. It might be about you joining a group of people, for example, but also this might be telling you that you have been having way too much fun and not enough focus on your goals, or you have been not having fun at all. And then you're just focusing on your goals. You're going to have to strike a balance here. Is there anything new that you want to start? It is telling you to take a risk on yourself. Maybe it's about placing yourself on social media so that you can start making money from it. Do you have stage fright? Are you trying to shy away from it? Maybe a friend who is going to be pushing you to be actually embracing these qualities within you. Also, this is the romantic axis as well. So maybe it is telling you to sign up on a dating website and then try to find a romantic partner. Also, what is your relationship status at the moment? Are you single or are you together with someone? It's going to be completely different. If you are single, then this would be telling you hang out with your friends. Maybe they are able to introduce someone to you. But if you are in a relationship, then this is telling you that it is still important to be around people that we like because we have got some experiences coming in. If you have got a relationship, the other possibility is that are we ready to take this relationship further, such as engagement, or we start talking about having kids, for example, or are we ready for a new chapter that a new life is going to be entering into our sphere, such as giving birth to a child, giving birth to a creative project, or moving together with someone. So, what do you want to create that might leave a mark on the society? Fifth house is in creation, and the 11th house is the house of society. It is telling you to do something that is fun for you. You can put your heart into it. Discover your talent, put it together, and then put it out there to the world so they can see your uniqueness somehow. But of course, if we have got stage fright, and Chiron can bring that into the picture, then this would talk to you about having to step out of your comfort zone. Maybe you're going to need support. Maybe you're going to need someone who is going to tell you, I don't know, how to edit videos or how they did that, how they overcame their own fears. Also, it's very possible that your children are moving out, for example, your children are getting married. What's your plan in that case? Because it means that you're going to feel lonely. And maybe the solution is that you're going to have to find some friends. Probably some of you will get kind of like some hidden information about their friends, or you're going to figure out their own motives. But also, I mean, eclipses usually come with a bit of drama and trauma as well. So you might need to be healing your childhood experiences. The dispositors are connected to the 10th house, which is the house of career and profession. So I feel like this might be talking about starting a new business or wanting to connect with people who might be able to give you a better job offer. You might want to get a promotion or moving up on the career ladder. It might look very challenging or loads of drama, but it is telling you that if you have fun with this process, that you can get successful. Okay, what happens if it is for Cancer rising sign? First of all, if you want to get the full picture, I recommend listening to the opposite sign as well, which is going to be Capricorn, because this is a full moon lunation. And please do not forget to listen to the general forecast, which I made in a separate video. And if you also want to sign up for my YouTube family receiving these type of forecasts, then join my special community to gain access to the additional 10 videos a month So let's get started. This is going to be happening in your 4th and 10th house. So the sun is very much focusing this time around on your profession and career, but the moon is focusing on family duties. So that's where we can have the clash. Finding balance between how much time I spend at work and how much time I spend with my family. You might feel that the family is actually not in understanding of your obligation and career goals. You might feel that somehow they are holding you back just by snapping at you all the time that, oh, you are always at work and I have to be raising the kids and I have to be doing all these duties at home. And I feel like you don't participate in those. So, how are you going to find the balance? Maybe you feel that someone is pushing you to find a better job, for example, a member of your family. Maybe you have been in a family business before, but now you are thinking about just doing your own thing. Find a balance of who you are at work and who you are at home, because these might not be connected this time around. You might feel that you've got way too much on your plate now, and it can make you feel really sad. Maybe they don't necessarily understand you at work, that you have got also a family and the family is going through some crisis situations at the moment. And of course, as the bosses are going to tell you, don't bring your family issues into work. We are not paying you, right, to suffer at work because you have got issues at home. But this could give you that kind of feeling where you want them to be a little bit more understanding on both ends. And it looks like neither work or nor the family are understanding enough. But also, it's very possible that you just want to follow family traditions or you want to keep the family together, and then that becomes an additional responsibility for you. It's kind of like, having issues in the family and everyone is just going to give you a phone call and then complain about it, and you feel like you have to be mediating between them two. So this lunation might be telling you, you know what, stand up and cut these people out of your life, or just tell them straight that you are tired of being this mediator, because it's their issue. Let's get them sit down and then talk about it. Also, maybe you guys have been planning to move. So move in, move out of a property. For example, you might want to be selling a house, but there might be no agreement of where to move, how much to sell the property for, whether we shall sell it or not. There could be a disagreement about that. Libra could talk to you about styling. So maybe just the source of problem is that we want to be doing some refurbishment around our home, but we haven't decided what the budget is, who to do it with, or how to do it. Maybe you feel that you are not appreciated by your parents. Maybe you feel like that you have been doing so much for them, but they are very needy and they have got more and more to ask. Maybe you haven't been able, or you might have been hesitating about moving out of your family nest as well and starting fresh, but you are afraid how your mom or dad is going to take that. Maybe you just want a place where you can find your own little sanctuary and then you can lay your head down and rest peacefully. So therefore, it could talk to you about relocation as well. Maybe it's just a desire that you want to be working from home. Maybe it's about not seeing eye to eye with your boss, or how much you should be working from home and how much you should be in the office. Also, it's possible that you're going to be spending money on renovations, for example, or you might consider sharing your home with someone, so renting out a room just to get a bit of an extra income. Or you might feel that, you know what, I am paying for everything and no one else chips in, and it's going to bother you. So, this is telling you again to stand up and share your concerns with these people. Maybe you might feel very stressed that you don't have your own home where you can rest peacefully. You might just want to spend some time alone and there is not a quiet corner, you know, and that is frustrating for you. Maybe you want to move. I mean, that would be a surprise actually, because the dispositors, Venus and Mars, are placed in the ninth house, which is a house of foreign countries. So moving to a foreign country, starting a new chapter in your life, but maybe you just want to study interior design or family constellation therapies. Maybe spiritually, it is time to let go of a parental trauma or experience. Maybe studying something that will eventually improve your career choices. But someone might be complaining at home that you don't share the duties with them. You are always just sitting behind your books. Maybe you feel that your colleagues somehow are the member of your pack or family. You might feel that actually they're giving you more support than anyone else. Okay, so dear Leo rising sign, if you want to get the full picture of this reading, I recommend listening to the opposite sign as well, which is Aquarius. Please do not forget to listen to the general forecast in a separate video. And even if you want to receive these type of breakdowns for you each week, then you might want to consider joining my YouTube family, the special community that I have, and you can get additional 10 videos a month. So this is going to be happening in your ninth and third house. Are you aligned with your purpose? Are you ready to improve your skills and take them to new heights? Maybe you should be taking some classes to go through self-improvement. Maybe you need to get to know what you were born to do. Maybe what you say and what you think might not be the same. Why do you think, or why do you believe that you need to deviate your true opinion about something? Because, of course, the moon in the sign of Libra often wants to please others and it doesn't want to get into confrontations at all. Or maybe people tell you what to do and then you get tired of it and you want to kind of communicate about it. But also, it might be about how much you share your ideas with others, or are you trying to keep them close to your chest? Maybe this is telling you that you don't need to tell everything to others immediately. Or maybe it is telling you to share a little bit more so that maybe they are able to chip in and then give you additional support on that. So there is a need to balance here how much we communicate, how much we listen. You might feel that people are just talking all the time, but when you have got something to say, they turn their head away. Also, it might be about reviewing how your relationship is with your neighbors, your siblings, classmates, or the person you share your room with or your house with. Also, it might be about you wanting to study something. You want more knowledge. It's about being the eternal student versus being the teacher. And you might feel that, oh, I'm not ready to teach yet, so I need to take further classes. But remember, this could be a trap, and you can do that forever. Yes, improving your knowledge is extremely important, but at one point, you're going to have to start sharing that knowledge with others as well. Maybe the reason why your relationships are shifting is because the communication is actually missing there. So this will talk to you about the improvement of the communication. Do you think that you put too much energy into your communication, but it looks like others don't necessarily care? So imagine situations where you are trying to make all these posts, for example, on social media, and then you hardly get likes for it, for example, and then you get a little bit upset about it. So this would be an invitation to tweak on things, something that needs changing. Maybe if you want to grow your social media channel, and then you just need a new pair of fresh eyes to give you some new ideas. So this could indicate some type of renewal as well. watch out because you have got the south node going through your third house as well. So it's very possible that you're going to have battery issues if you've got an electric car, but your phone or laptop can die as well. I think south node rules batteries. Or imagine situations where, I don't know, you forget your password to your phone, or you leave your passport at home as well, and then you get locked out somehow. Maybe you leave your keys somewhere, and then you're gonna have to call someone to force open the door. So that's a possibility. Now, the third house is also something to do with everyday routine as well. So, such as when you go to the grocery shop or you take the same route every single day to get to work. And it could become a bit more dramatic because maybe there are some roadblocks going on, road works, or just traffic. It leaves you frustrated with that strong Aries energy. Now, the dispositors, Mars and Venus, are in the eighth house. So it could represent such things as the life of your siblings are changing. Maybe the neighbors, siblings, or the classmates are going through some crisis situation that affects you as well. But also, how are you going to keep the relationship going with these people? So imagine situations where, I don't know, your sibling is gonna start their own family, and then you might be afraid that we're not gonna be hanging out as much anymore. Also, maybe you fear that these people are not validating you. They don't give you phone calls anymore as much as you want to. So it can bring some arguments with relatives. You might need to let go of someone physically, mentally, or spiritually as well. I mean, the worst case scenario is unfortunately a death of a relative. Or maybe you want to be buying a car, or or you have to get your car fixed. That's a possibility as well. But also, these are the houses that are connected to travels. And I would say that this is not just a physical travel, this is a mental travel as well. So, overall, do you feel stuck in your life? Do you feel that there is nowhere to go? There is nowhere to hide anymore? Because the eighth house wants to hide sometimes because it's full on fears. And this is telling you to be open minded, to look at the horizon, to get that information, to download that information from the gods, to have faith and belief in yourself, in your ability to communicate and to attract others. Try to sell yourself because there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, dear Virgo rising sign. So if you want to get the full picture, I recommend listening to your opposite sign as well, which is going to be Pisces. Please do not forget to listen to the general forecast, which I made in a separate video. And if you want to sign up for my YouTube family, it would be lovely. You can even join the special community to gain access to additional 10 videos a month about all the astro energy that we have. So this is going to be happening in your eighth and second house. This is the financial axis. So do you feel that what you put into your relationship are reciprocated? This is the give and take axis. And often there is no balance there when an eclipse happens. So the partner wants to improve something and you don't, or vice versa. You might not feel valued anymore by others. Maybe you feel that they belittle you, they talk down on you, they disregard your own needs. And then this Aries energy is actually asking you to stand up for yourself and tell them straight that you are kind of getting fed up with this. You also are entitled to get appreciation. Remember, you have got Virgo rising sign, and sometimes it is humble, way too humble. So this is telling you to fight for yourself now. Maybe they don't appreciate how much you work, how much money you bring home, and it's getting frustrating. You might have been pushing hard to make money, but even it could indicate that your expenditure is also growing and you feel burdened by the bills. And maybe you feel that your partner is not chipping in. You might actually end up wanting to get a loan, or but the bank might say that you need a guarantor, for example, or you need a joint account and all those type of things. So this is your possessions versus other people's possessions. Do you feel that you give, I don't know, you lend your phone to others, but when you need a phone, they don't lend it to you? Is there something unsaid that you want to discuss with your partner? Because the eighth house also connected to secrets as well at the same time. Remember, the second house is also about food intake as well. So this might be telling you that you're going to have to cleanse your body a little bit. You're going to have to see what you put into your body. Is that anger or is that harmony you put in your body? Also, maybe it's about cleansing your mindset around money as well. You might feel that people are not following the contract that you have with them. So breaching the contract, and that is causing you issue. And you don't know how to tell them, but that Aries energy would be telling you that, you know what, I'm going to fight back, or we're just going to cut it out. Enough is enough. Maybe you are waiting for a payment from a client and they promise something to you and then it doesn't come on time. And they have been late with the payment. And this is telling you to hit the table and tell them that I did the work. I want the payment for it. Same situation, for example, if someone owes money to you, and there are these empty promises, but it never gets there. And then you might be reevaluating how much I'm going to be lending to others, or actually, will I do that at all? You might not know how to let others know that you are in need of money as well, that you need help, because then your pride is in the way. And maybe that Libra moon is telling you to put your pride aside. Or they owe you money and you just see that the money is burning in their pockets and they are not bothered to give it back to you, but they are going on a holiday. That Aries energy is going to get really frustrated about it. Also, what type of financial changes you need to make to have more money? Do you have debts? Are you on track with them? Are you paying your bills on time? This is the give and take axis. So what I receive for my efforts might not be enough. So actually, you can even start thinking about leaving your job and finding a new one. Also, this might be telling you to start thinking about whether you share your talents with others. Do you have investments? You might want to be looking at them. You might be hesitating whether to invest into something, or did I make the right decision? We can get worried about it. Do I want to keep it? Do I not want to keep it? And in that case, you might want to contact someone who is professional and can give you some ideas about it. Maybe you want to take a risk once in your life on yourself, but you feel that others are not necessarily supporting all these changes, what you have been going through. Ask yourself the question what your connection is to food. Do you feel heavy? Do you want to lose weight? Also, maybe you're going to figure out, because often the eclipses are connected to secrets as well. So you might realize that someone is actually hiding money from you. They have got a secret stash of money somewhere underneath the bed, for example. But it might be about you receiving inheritance. Maybe it's going to be a little bit delayed. Now, the dispositors are in the seventh house. So you definitely want to get that emotional support and validation from the partner. Maybe you feel that they are lying to you, they are hiding something from you as well. But also, this might be connected to a business partner, and you feel that they don't put enough effort into the business. They are just in it for the money, but actually, it's a passion of yours as well at the same time. Or they just want to drain you financially. And surely this is bringing in the topics of self-care. So how much I receive from my partner? Do I get that massage that you love and all those type of things? So this is telling you to spend a little bit of the money on yourself as well. If you want to go for a pedicure or something like that, then do that, because it's going to boost your confidence, and maybe look at it as an investment into the self. So you might be able to get something better later on. Okay, so let's have a look at what happens for Libra rising sign. So this is going to be taking place in your first and seventh house. To get the full picture, I recommend listening to the opposite sign as well. So Aries, because this is a full moon lunation. And also, please do not forget to listen to the general forecast I made in a separate video, because that's going to be helping you to understand the energies around you better. And if you would like to join my YouTube family, then please join the special community to gain access to 10 additional videos a month. So the sun is illuminating your seventh house, while moon is in the first house. So one of the questions that might ask you straight away is that, have you been neglecting your needs? They might not see you the way you want to be seen. You might have been having issues around codependency or having to please others, and the sun is going to ask you to start standing up for yourself. Maybe you feel that you have given your true identity up and you're going to have to gain that back somehow. Maybe you might not be caring for yourself anymore because you feel like you have got all these obligations and you have to, let's say, give everything to your family and your children. And this is telling you that your vitality, your body, and your happiness is just as important as other people's. Maybe it's about wanting to be in a relationship and you feel that you need to do a little bit of a self-reflection, looking into the mirror. What can you do to be in a relationship? And maybe the Aries side of your chart is asking you to be brave, to put yourself out there, to make yourself available and visible, rather than looking yourself up in a dark room. Maybe you present yourself differently, and that causes confusion both to you and to others as well. So this could indicate wanting to change your image, changing how you look at the world, changing your relationship dynamics, and also utilizing your skill set. This is about, sometimes, because the South Node is in the sign of Libra as well. So often what happens is that we go through a little bit of a crisis situation about who we are. We kind of don't have the strength anymore to keep going. And the sun in the seventh sign might be telling you that the strength could be coming from your relationship, or it could be coming from other people who are able to boost your energy and ego as well. I feel like because Venus and Mars, the dispositors of this lunation, is in the sixth house, this is about implementing some daily routines to take care of your own beauty. But is there a balance there? Are you doing that too much? Because then we're going to have to cut back a little bit. I mean, the first house getting activated with the dispositors in the sixth, watch out for any type of health issues. Your vitality level can drop significantly. You might be going through some hormonal changes, for example, and it can cause such things as crying or wanting to sleep more and so forth, because Venus and Mars are in the sign of Pisces. You might want to lose weight. You might want to be just changing your diet a little bit to replace bad habits with some great habits. So this lunation could actually help you with that. But again, with the South Node around your rising sign, what's very possible is that you do not have the confidence, you do not have the willpower. And maybe again, you need an external motivating factor that is going to be giving you that extra strength to go for it. So I also feel like that this is about healing the body through spiritual practices, because Venus and Mars are in the sign of Pisces now. And Pisces is about spirituality. The sixth house is about practicing. So meditation and dreaming and dream interpretations and having a consultation with an astrologer and so forth could be a good idea for you. I mean, some of the worst case scenarios is, for example, a loss of a grandparent, unfortunately. If you are a healer and you want to take your business further, then it is also talking about what type of program do you for your clients. Maybe there needs to be an element of renewal there. You know, the sixth house is something to do with service industry. Seventh house is your clientele. So maybe they are expecting you to change your website, to change your attitude. You know what? I'll give you an example here. A friend of mine who also has got a kind of like a spiritual channel, she always complains about not having enough views. And then she's got, let's say, 20,000 followers, but only 1,000 people watch their videos, her videos, and so on. And she did a little bit of a survey. And then people said, oh, we want to hear more about relationship topics. And then she was like, no, I'm not doing relationship topics. No way I'm going to do that, because everyone just wants to hear when XY is going to come into their life and all those type of things. And then the whole spirituality is losing its value. So she shows a bit of a stubbornness about opening up to new possibilities. So this lunation might be talking to you about something similar, where you're going to have to listen to the needs of your clients. Unfortunately, this could talk to you about the loss of a grandparent as well. Or do you feel you cannot do it alone and you need someone to support you? The sun wants you to be brave and to go for it on your own. And the moon wants you to cooperate with others. So we've got a bit of a clash of energy here. And you know what? We need a bit of both, really. Also, you might run into a business partner that wants to support you. Maybe it's about looking at what other people's motives are and what your motives are when it comes to certain type of connections being made. Maybe you haven't been the real self for a very long time, and then it's actually time to tap into that. Remember what you were born for. You were born for to be in a relationship, in a healthy one. And healthy means that you are appreciated and treated fairly. And this is where you're going to have to do a bit of a healing around. You are here to be beautiful. Make that happen. Take care of yourself. You don't need to be sacrificing your own beauty for the benefit of others. Unfortunately, with that Venus and Mars being in the sign of Pisces, it could reveal some secrets in your relationship department, maybe the unhealthy habits of a partner. You know, they say that they don't eat chocolate and then they have got a stash of chocolate hidden somewhere and all these type of things. Or maybe it's about releasing your unhealthy thoughts about relationships, and those need to be replaced with something positive. And the sixth house can talk to us about enemies with the seventh house combo as well. So you might hear some gossips that someone is talking behind your back. Okay, let's move on to Scorpio rising sign. So dear Scorpio, if you want to get the full picture, I recommend listening to Taurus rising sign as well. That's how you're going to be able to combine what it might be happening to you. And please do not forget to listen to the general forecast, which I made in a separate video. And also, if you want to sign up for my additional videos that I'm providing to my community, special community, then do so by just pressing the join button, and you will get approximately about 10 additional videos a month. So this is going to be happening in your 12th and 6th house. The moon is in the 12th and the sun is illuminating your 6th house. So we've got the daily routines versus the spiritual routines. We need to find balance here. So for example, I've got all these obligations of cleaning and so forth, but with the 12th house moon, we want to rest and we want to do something that is kind of like a ritual for you, whether it's reading a book, a love story, or you want to do meditation or yoga. And then you can get torn apart feeling that I cannot do all these type of things because I've got all these errands to run. You're going to have to strike a balance here. Also, one house is connected to physical health and the other one is to mental health. So this would talk to you about both needs to be boosted. If you are in a good mental state, your immune system gets stronger, but vice versa as well. When you have got a healthier body, then mentally we also feel better as well. Maybe you want to be looking at your addictions and your bad habits. Maybe those are revealed often actually by others. Someone who is going to tell you that, listen, oh, I hate that skirt on you. And then you're going to start, contemplating on it. Obviously, it's not going to be a good feeling, but this would be asking you to look into the mirror and why they are telling you those type of things, because it might be time to change something around it. Also, or if you feel that it doesn't necessarily give the full picture or the justice, then this is asking you to stand up. Maybe it's connected to a relative, or maybe it's connected to a coworker, for example. Some of you might experience a bit of a discrimination at workplace. For example, maybe it's kind of like a relationship approach from a boss and so forth, and then you find it inappropriate, then the sun would ask you to stand up for yourself. You might get some harsh criticism from others, and don't take it in the wrong way. Try to actually figure out why they think about you that way. Maybe ask your friends as well to kind of see whether there is some truth to it. What do you have a healthy connection with your body? You might have been struggling mentally and physically as well, and now it is time to start fresh. But it comes with a bit of a drama, heightened emotions. You might want to be crying a little bit. You might want to be left alone. And then those, pesky people are just coming and pushing themselves onto you. This is one way showing their interest in you as well. Also, this is telling you that dreaming is not enough if you want to change something. The 12 house dreams, but Aries is about action, and that action needs to be taken every single day. Spiritualists could talk to you about releasing some of your ancestry energies. It might not even be yours. Remember that the eclipse lunations are always connected to a Saros family. And some of them started 1,300 years ago. Some of them started 300 years ago. So this could talk to you about going down on the memory lane and see where these things are originated from. Maybe it's just about letting go of someone in your life, saying goodbye to them because they are holding you back. They are somehow poison in your life. I mean, this lunation has got a wide trine to Pluto, so definitely it invites loads of healing into the picture. Some type of secrets will be revealed to you, probably about your own body or health or even relationship departments. Remember that the 12th house is often full on fears. And remember that those are inner demons and whispering craps into our ears. So are you going to use those fears on a daily basis, or are you just going to cut them out? And I recommend cutting them out because Aries is about cutting something away that is not needed anymore. Have those connections to your inner guides, and you will be able to feel better about yourself as well. Also, sometimes what happens is that with all the circumstances and events that are taking place in our life are overwhelming. And then I just decided, you know what, I need a day off. I want to be alone. You might have been so busy with all sorts of daily activities, routines, and you have been trying to fix something, maintain something for a very long time, such as work or relationship and so forth, that you just need to take a little bit of a time off and recharging your batteries. So this is asking you to schedule some downtime for yourself as well. Maybe you're going to feel very sensitive to lights. Maybe you're going to have a bit of a headache, unfortunately, from a physical point of view. Maybe there is something that is really private about you, and then you wouldn't want to share that with others, and unfortunately, others will be talking to you. Or maybe, as I said, a health matter could come to light as well. But the full moons are about culmination points. So a work project that might be getting quite heightened here as well. And then that's why it's asking you to work, for example, extra hard. Brilliant. Let's move on to Sagittarius rising sign. This is going to be happening in your 11th and 5th house. If you want to get the full picture, I recommend listening to your opposite sign as well, which would be Gemini. Please do not forget to listen to the general forecast that I made in a separate video. And if you want to sign up for my YouTube family, then please join the special community to gain access to additional 10 videos a month about astro energies. And I tend to be breaking down certain constellations for each of the signs. So what happens with a Sagittarius rising sign? I mean, this could talk to you about a full moon is a culmination. So finishing something up, finishing up a friendship, finishing a project. Maybe it's about a collaboration with someone on a project. Maybe it's just a short-term collaboration, but it's going to be changing your long-term goals somehow. It is also asking you to consider something that you feel connected to, that is part of your heart desire. So doing something that gives you pleasure, and maybe it's about helping others to realize also their own heart desire as well. With this combination, typically we want to receive supports. We want to be approaching our friends and we want them to give us that attention, what we think we need. Or you are going to be supporting a friend, maybe supporting your child to move out, for example. And if that's the case, have you been ignoring your long-term goals then? This is about self-expression, so expressing your ideas or having to go with an other idea, and how does that make you feel? Maybe you want to leave a group behind to achieve your own goals. Maybe it's leaving a group behind, a sisterhood behind, because you feel like this group is not serving you anymore. They are not aligned with your new goals and values as well. Or it could bring you the dilemma whether I need to be focusing on this and that's going to give me a short result, or do I need to focus on something that might take longer, but the gain out of it is better as well? And you can be hesitating. Aries would like to do things very quickly, and then the Libra element is hesitating where to go with that. Or just finding a new sisterhood, finding a new group that you want to belong to. Or you might feel rejected by society because you are unique. You might be rejected by a group of people that you thought they were your friends, and all of a sudden you feel attacked by them. But also romantic life. Are you dating? Are you willing to go online, for example, to find some flirt or even a boyfriend or a girlfriend for yourself? It's possible that your kids are getting married, for example, or even going through a divorce. And then you are kind of like a pillar, a support system for them. And remember that the dispositors, Venus and Mars, are placed in the fourth house in the sign of Pisces. So that could talk to you about advertising a property, for example, or it could talk to us about that some health issues within the family as well, unfortunately. Or you feel like I want to go on a family vacation, but we might not see eye to eye where to do that. You might want to have fun, more fun with your kids, for example, or if you have got stepchildren, they might be acting a little bit. It's possible that your children are moving in, moving out, or you get to know something about your children that could come with an element of a shock or drama as well. With this combination, the major focus for you is pleasure, hobbies, romanticism. You need to realize that you play a major role in other people's life. Whether you are a parent, a friend, a spouse, or an agent, or whatever you are supporting other people's happiness, but you also need to get that from them too. You are entitled. You might start feeling sorry for people in the society around you. So it might be, prompting you to do something humanitarian as well. Imagine a situation when a friend of yours is going through some major challenges, for example, and then they ask for your help. And then all of a sudden you bump into very similar situations around you, and then you realize, you know what, this is something I can help people with. Okay, let's move on to our next sign, and that's going to be Capricorn. So the sun is illuminating your 4th house, while the moon is illuminating your 10th house. So how does your family life affect your career? Would you go for something else if they didn't hold you back? Would you like to spend more time with your family? What would be the job you would like to do? Is that in your country or in a foreign country? You might feel like you are having to make a choice between your family and your work life. Obviously, this lunation is asking you to find balance, how much time to spend with the family and how much time you spend at work. Sometimes it's about the quality element of it. So even when I'm with my family, I'm hanging on the phone, and people might start push you to put that phone away. And then in these type of situations, we are asked to create some healthy boundaries around these. But also, what's your relationship like with your bosses and coworkers? Is it healthy? Do we have enough boundaries? You might want to be seen, but they don't see who you are. They only see the professional self, but they do not see, for example, your emotional self. Maybe you realize that the company you work for is not supporting your family life anymore. So they don't care, that, I don't know, your children are sick and all those type of things. Or maybe what gets you a little bit pissed off is all the rules, what you have to attend at home and at work as well. And then you are like, I'm okay with rules. Capricorn rising appreciates rules, but it's getting too much. Also, you might want to be remembered for something that, such as the family needs to remember that I work extremely hard to provide. This is the parental axis as well. Maybe the parents are actually having a clash at home. Maybe you are thinking about working from home, or you feel isolated by working from home, and actually you want to go back and somehow socialize. You might want to sell a property. You might have got some new opportunities coming up, maybe even a relocation because of work. Maybe, unfortunately, there is a bit more focus happening on your parents. It might be possible due to some health issues, because the dispositor of this lunation, Venus and Mars, are placed in the 3rd house, and the 3rd house is the health situation of one of the parents. But you can have a clash with authority figures, such as with a boss, for example, or if you are selling your home, then it might cause some type of delays because we need additional paperwork or something doesn't get signed properly. And also, you might just think about that, I want to retire. And I want to be just spending more time at home with my family, because those are the precious times. But because the dispositors are in the 3rd sign, and that's the house of communication, this could be about communicational issues with bosses, with parents, with business owners, and so forth. Or maybe imagine that the sibling is expecting a child, and you might not have one, and then you become a little bit sad about it. Maybe you're gonna have to deal with some type of drama at the workplace, or maybe you feel like that you have to study something, take kind of like a work training course so that you can improve your skills. Dear Aquarius rising sign, so this is going to be taking place in your 3rd and 9th house. Now, in order for you to get the whole picture, I recommend listening to the opposite sign as well, which is going to be Leo. Please do not forget to listen to the general forecast in a separate video I made. And also, if you want to sign up for my YouTube family, then please join the special community. And you can actually get 10 extra videos a month, very similar breakdowns like this. So the sun is illuminating your third house and the moon is illuminating your ninth house. And this is the axis of studies and travels and communication. So how far are you ready to go to achieve your dreams? Often with the ninth house, which is the house of dreams and opportunities, we are dreaming about an opportunity, but the third house is more about practicing. It's about the collection of information, to a certain extent digging bits and bobs up on the internet, for example, or in the local community to see where I can go with this. Some of you might want to publish a book. Some of you might want to move, and where to move? Just a neighborhood country, third house, or more of a faraway country? And that would be the ninth house. What do you have the money for? Maybe actually you want to move because of money considerations as well. I want to have a cheaper life. Why the money comes into the picture is because the dispositors of this lunation, Venus and Mars, are placed in your second house. And of course, this is bringing you in the need to somehow see um, the world, to feel more connected and more aligned with your goals as well. This could even bring up topics whether you feel like you are valued by others, or you would feel like that, you know what, I can connect to a different culture better than in the culture I am at the moment. And maybe that's why we're going to start thinking about relocation. It could also talk to you about some type of discussion about money with relatives, such as your siblings. I mean, this might be connected to inheritance, for example, or you might feel that these relatives are not supporting your life anymore, or a neighbor, and then you want to somehow cut ties with them as well. I think one of the major questions is, what is your spiritual truth? What do you believe in? Do you believe in your own talents? The third house is also about making money through your talents. And if you do not know what your talents are, then maybe that ninth house wants you to connect with a spiritual guide, a teacher, a guru, who will be able to highlight some of your talents. And because the dispositors are connected to the second sign, then this would talk to you about having to invest into your talents, having to invest into going back to school, for example, or taking a course that will upgrade your skills. And then you have got the ability to make more money later on, which you might have been dreaming about for a while. So studying, workshop classes, an element of a spiritual growth, it's all about time to do that. And it's about practicing your spiritual views on a daily basis, figuring out your own talents and trying to make money out of it. You might want to use technology. You might have been reluctant to go on social media. And maybe you're going to have to start thinking about launching something on that. So, new knowledge, new courses, new travels to gain more experiences, putting your faith into your own talents. Maybe it's about the fact that you have finished your studies and then you are scratching your head. What's going to happen now? Where am I going from this? Am I an eternal student? Am I ready to teach what all the knowledge I have gained during the last, let's say, 18 years? Because maybe I'm going to put that down in a book, for example. So the ninth house is connected to the wider audience as well. It's kind of like the streamlining, the publishing. So it's about putting something out there. And last but not least, Pisces rising sign. This is going to be happening in your second and eighth house, so the house of finances. If you want to get the full picture, I highly recommend listening to your opposite sign as well, and that would be Virgo. Please do not forget to listen to the general forecast that I made in a separate video. And if you want to sign up for my YouTube family, then please join the special community to gain access to approximately 10 extra videos a month where I'm going to be making these breakdowns like this. So the sun is illuminating your second house and moon is illuminating your eighth. Self-worth versus other people's worth. So this could talk to you about you feeling like others are demeaning you. You might feel like that you are all about trying to give something to others to boost their confidence, but you don't feel valued by them. Do you, for example, imagine that you have got a business and then you see everyone who is increasing their prices, like, and then you are thinking, am I too cheap? Am I undervalued? Why would people go for, let's say, $1,000 reading when you charge your readings for 200, and then you feel like, oh, wow, if I'm too cheap, then people might not come to me. If I'm too expensive, people might not come to me. So this could cause an element of a hesitation. To be honest, I had this feeling recently when I see that certain people are charging $500 for a reading, and I'm like, wow, you know, uh, I'm never gonna do that, surely. But also, it could talk to you about you comparing yourself to others as well. Who is better? Are they better? Am I better? So this is illuminating the need to be more confident about yourself. And you don't need to compare because we are all unique. That's what the sun in Aries would talk to you about. We all have got our own talents and we all have got something that we are lacking. And that's why the Libra is telling you that sometimes it's okay to collaborate with others because they might be giving the full experience. They might be actually, you know, make us feel full because they are talented at something and I'm talented at something. And when we put two talents together, it becomes a giant one. Also, maybe it's about wanting to have a loan, trying to get a loan. Maybe it's working on your body as well, a little bit of a self-preservation. Remember that these positors, Venus and Mars, are placed in your first house. So it might be about just trying to do a little bit of a body cleansing. Maybe this is about wanting to pay a loan back. Maybe you owe money to someone and then they're gonna ask you to give them back. Or maybe something that you keep close to your chest. This is the give and take axis. This is about sharing something with others. So you're gonna have to share your feelings with the moon in the sign of Libra in the eighth house. And that is a way how you stand up for yourself as well. You might feel that someone is holding you back. Is it due to lack of confidence? Or maybe not someone, but something, and it might be a fear connection, and then you're going to have to talk about that. For example, imagine a situation that you're going to go for a fitness retreat, which I'm actually going to do. And maybe that moon is about an emotional release so that your diet can kick off really well. Also, this is about, I feel like I'm giving everything to people and then I don't get anything back in return. So there is no appreciation. Or it could talk to you about what do I invest into? Maybe we need to be reviewing that. Maybe it's about how you utilize your money. Now, because the dispositor is placed in the first house, it's healthy habits about money, rewiring yourself about money, looking at your spending habits, for example, or to make money out of your talent. Are you just making money for others, or you're going to start making money for yourself? Maybe you cannot see your goals clearly, and you're going to have to just step back a little bit and then clarify what you want to be achieving. Maybe you're spending money on yourself or on others, and that needs to come up with a healthy boundaries here. Maybe there is some codependency, and then Aries would like to create something for yourself rather than depending on others. So what's your relationship with money? What makes you feel secure? It could give you an opportunity to make a little bit more money as well. But once you made it, what you gonna do with that? Are you gonna be reinvesting? You might be receiving inheritance, for example. You might need to be submitting some tax documents. And it could be something that, causes a bit of, in a way, a little bit of a drama for you because you don't know where to locate those text numbers. It could also bring in the topic of intimacies, issues around power and control. So imagine that someone is controlling how much money I can spend, and then the Aries would like you to stand up against it. Maybe it's about your comfort zone, getting out of your comfort zone, but you feel like you don't get the support. Maybe it's about, balancing out how much I give, how much I take when it comes to intimacy. Does your partner want to just receive pleasure, but they disregard your needs for pleasure? It's about sharing the money, what we've got. And you might feel like that, what, I'm doing all the shopping all month, and I would like you to chip in as well. So this could talk to you about having to talk about this, having to raise this issue with others. And it might not be your comfort zone, Pisces, because this is something that is a little bit more inclined to be a people pleaser. So this is illuminating the need to take care of your own needs without disregarding other people's needs. So guys, these were the breakdown for all the 12 signs. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please press like, follow the channel, sign up for my special community tab, as well as share the videos with others. It might be helping them. See you soon. Bye-bye.